I'm back with another AC/DC video. I haven't done an AC/DC album for a while, and there's still quite a few more to get through. I did Back in Black, For Those About to Rock, Let There Be Rock, Dirty Deeds, Thunder Chief, Dirty Deeds, Dan Bowski, whatever you want to call it. So there's this one. I still have at least at least at least four more. So I'm about halfway through the AC/DC, not their catalog, but of the ones that I'm going to do. So this is High Voltage today. And I don't really have too much of a history with this one. As a matter of fact, I never had this record in any format until like 5 years ago. Same as all of the AC/DC, the Bon Scott era, except Dirty Deeds. I didn't have until 5 years ago. I went back and I bought them. So, and I've mentioned before, I was not a big Bon Scott fan. Not that I hated Bon Scott, I hated the Bon Scott era. I didn't like AC/DC's, more or less. I didn't like their music at that time. Didn't really like Bon Scott's vocals at that time. That's all changed. For me, I think now, I really missed the boat on old AC/DC, because they really should be one of my favorite bands. And in some ways, they kind of are. I feel like I'm still discovering these old albums, Powerage and Let There Be Rock and High Voltage and Highway to Hell. I'm kind of still getting into those albums. And I'm not overly familiar with them, including this one, although I know it, I guess, well enough that I can talk about it. And I think this is a very good album. They have a weird, I talked about this before, they have a weird discography. This version that I'm going to talk about is I guess it's the international version. So for the non-Australians watching, which is everybody except Damien, Long Gone Loser Rock Show, you know this one, and I'm going to show it in a second. And it's I guess this was a combination of the original High Voltage that came out. This came out in 1976. The original one came out in 1975, and it was. I'm confused. It's partially that. And partially, this one is what else is it? Partially TNT. I think it's kind of a mix of those two albums. I'm not sure exactly. You can go check that on Wikipedia or Google if you like. So this is going to be not quite an unboxing. I think I'm over the unboxing. Not to mention, Mike Pratt said he was done. He said if I continue to do unboxings, he hates them so much that he's not going to watch. So, and I don't want to lose his very valuable viewership. So Mike Pratt, I'm taking you into account. So I had, if you've been following all my Amazon troubles lately, I got really backlogged with all the records, and some of them were getting close to the 30-day expiration window that you have to return them if there was a problem. And because there were so many problems, I started to just open them. And this is what I did. I just peeked inside just to make sure it was correct. I still like the little bit of a thrill you get when you open something and see it for the first time. So that's what I'm going to do now. And there it is. This is really the only version I know. This album cover and this track listing. It's a long way to the top. Rock and Roll Singer. What comes after that? I've lost it already. Livewire, I think. And the album cover. I thought that other album cover sucked. The original High Voltage, that cover sucked. I like this one. Yeah, I guess I can get right to it. I'll open it. I will open it from its enclosure. And this one is wrapped really tight. So I guess I gotta go. Sorry, Mike. This doesn't. Please continue to watch. This is an unwrapping, not an unboxing. And no hype sticker, as with Dirty Deeds and Back in Black, and For Those About to Rock and Let There Be Rock. No hype sticker on these. And this is going to have presumably also the good liner notes in it, as those aforementioned ones did. I think this came out in 2003. This remaster re-release series. There it is, and there's the back. And the inside, yeah, the liner notes there and there. And I guess the label is going to be just a black label with the red AC/DC logo. No colored vinyl, yeah. There it is. All right. So going through this track by track now, and again, I'm not overly familiar with it, so you're not going to hear a lot of singing or lyrics, recitation. Is that the word? Reciting of lyrics. What's on the back here? It's got. I think this is in the inside of the CD because I had this on CD. It's got like letters from. Thank you for your letter. Unfortunately, we must refuse you permission for you to perform next month. That was for Mark Evans. Each of them had a little letter here. Mark, Mr. Rudd, Mrs. Young, and Bond. There's no Malcolm letter here. All right. So the first one is "It's a Long Way to the Top." If you want to rock and roll, that's a great song. It's a classic song. Unfortunately, it's not really unfortunate, but for me anyway, and I'm sure for a lot of people, I've grown to associate this more with Metallica than anything. When you hear the song, Metallica plays it before they go on, before the Ecstasy of Gold. And when I hear this song now, I can't think of of a Metallica concert, the lights going down and things like that. But this is a great song. It's a tale of the road, and I don't need to tell you what it is lyrically. It's pretty obvious, but it's a great song. Maybe I don't know if I have another song in my entire musical collection, thousands of records and CDs I've bought over the decades. Is this the only song with bagpipes? I think it is. Give me another one. What else has I don't typically listen to bagpipe music, but they fit the song so perfectly. I love that, the call and response, the guitar, and then the bagpipe. I love that. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. If you want to be a star of stage and screen, look out, It's Hot and Mean. Is that what it is? It's Hot and Mean? It's a classic. And then another song with rock and roll. Faux pas, isn't it, to have two back-to-back songs with rock and roll in the title? Rock and roll singer, rock and roll star. Isn't it the identical riff as "It's a Long Way to the Top"? I mean, AC/DC is known for not being the most, creative, but I like Rock and Roll Singer. It's a great song. And now, is it this one? Yeah, it is this one. Yes, I are. I'm a rock and roll singer. Yes, I are. Terrible grammar. It's A for song, F for grammar. No good. Bad grammar. Yes, I are. The Jack. Now, I've mentioned before, the Jack is hated this when I was into Back in Black, and for those about to rock, and didn't really know the Bon Scott era. And years later, when I heard the Jack when I was a teenager, I thought this song sucks. I like it now, but it is still too repetitive for me. She's got the Jack, she's got the Jack, she's got the Jack, the Jack, the Jack, the Jack. I don't know how many times he says it in the song, but it gets a little bit, and I think these records don't have the runtime of the songs on them, but I feel like this song could be like a minute shorter. The runtimes are on here. The Jack is 5:52. That's a little bit long. They could have cut that. I'm sure that's blasphemous to many people, but it just, and there's another song on here. Which one is it that gets a little bit repetitive? I'm not sure. Next after the Jack is Livewire, that very simple but very effective, very powerful, simple bass intro. A song that Motley Crue, I think they stole Bad Boy Boogie and they stole Livewire. They don't sound like the AC/DC songs, but I think they stole the title anyway. And the thing that I remember or is noteworthy for the song is "Well, I'm a Livewire." That I love, that really dry drum sound. I know it's a small thing, but I love it. And also because, as I said, I'm not overly familiar, so I can't really quote the lyrics too much more than that. Side 2 is TNT, I'm Dynamite. This is another one. What do you say about, it's hard, I think for me it's harder to talk about these classic songs because I get kind of confused. Do I like it or not? Do I like it? Do I dislike it, or am I just tired of it? Highway to Hell is in the same category, and I guess Hell's Bells and some other songs by other bands. I've talked about this before. But yeah, TNT, another classic. I would say it's the bigger classic on this album, even more than It's a Long Way to the Top. But God, it's played everywhere. Sporting events and everywhere. Great song, but I'm very tired of it. Can I Sit Next to You, Girl? This is one that I think he just says it too much. Is it this one? Maybe also She's Got Balls. They're just a little bit repetitive. They just go on and on. Can I sit next to you, girl? I like that one too. Little Lover. This is another one that I don't think I heard this song until a few years ago, until about 5 years ago when I got all these on CD. And this would have been a song that I hated back then. Ride On and The Jack and those slow bluesy AC/DC songs. I would have hated Little Lover. I love it now. It's possibly even my favorite song on this record. And is it also that one that he just Little Lover, that he repeats it too much? I saw the wet patch on your seat. Was it Coca-Cola? I think that's a great song, Little Lover. She's Got Balls. She's Got Balls. And is this the one that has the really, really long pause at the end? Or is that, no, it's Little Lover. It's because I Know You Are, or something like that, Baby You Are. And then pause, and that pause lasts forever. Yeah, it's that one with the long pause. She's Got Balls is good too. And then the last song is High Voltage. Again, to me, this is really reminiscent of It's a Long Way to the Top if you want to rock and roll, and Rock and Roll Singer. High Voltage is it's high voltage rock and roll. Same feel, same. It's got that classic. And I'm not knocking AC/DC for this. God, they're one of the most successful bands ever. But a lot of their songs are very reminiscent of others of their songs. So that's it. So a very short episode today, and I think it'll be like this with the other AC/DC albums. I don't have the history of these as I do with, the Kiss records and Metallica and Motorhead and Iron Maiden. But I do like them a lot. As I said, still kind of a new band to me, and I look forward to listening to AC/DC, High Voltage.